Chapter 19, Private Showing. The next morning, you and Ashton take matters in your own hands by renting out a very familiar old private theater. Inside, you run your hands over the polished backs of the seats and happily humming popcorn machine. Wow. How long has it been since we've been here? Probably at least a decade. We used to come here every single weekend as kids. I can't believe we're back. My favorite thing about coming here was sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Remember how our fingers brushed together sometimes? I'll tell you a secret. I don't even really like popcorn. Hang him from the nearest thing. But you always insisted on ordering the biggest size. So we could share, obviously. Ashton points to the front row of the seats, a soft look on his face. We used to sit right there and dream about our movies playing on the giant screen. All three of us. You see the former visions of yourselves there, feet up, laughing, tossing popcorn at each other. I hope Eddie shows up. Ashton takes your hand, the feeling as familiar and reassuring as breathing, and waits for you to meet his gaze. He'll be here, he loves you, and I know that's only a matter of time. I know this theater is irresistible to him, which is exactly why I picked it. And now we've got the place to ourselves to show Eddie an extra special film. If he even shows up. You should probably text him now and get it over with. Let's see what he has to say. Here goes. Hey, Eddie. So, remember the old theater we used to practically live in as kids? I'm here now. And I've got a little film to show you. Give me space, Nora, I mean it. Please come. I made it just for you. It's really important to me you see it. I know you're mad, but I want to make this right. I'll be here. Watch those 3 dots longer than you want to admit. Eddie's writing back. It's a great sign. I wasn't sure he'd reply at all. He already said give him space, but you know, you and Ashton stare at your phone, watching as Eddie types, and then the bubbles disappear. Damn it. Burning with irritation, you start to type a follow-up text, but Ashton places his hand over yours. Eddie will come. Give him time. I hope so. What if our plan fails? There will be nothing left to try, and Eddie will be mad at me forever. Forever's a very long time. He won't be, I promise. He still loves you, and in his mind, he's staying away to protect himself because he loves you. Right, because he thinks you're going to hurt me. Once he sees how we're meant to be, he'll change his mind. How are you always so certain you'll get what you want? You're so confident. Because he has a lot of money. Trust me, I'm not. Could have fooled me. You exude confidence. Well, it's part of the job. If you don't believe in what you're doing, even if you have to fake it, the sharks will smell blood in the water. So, how do you fake it so effortlessly? When you're trying to make a hard sell, like we're doing with Eddie, you have to act like you already sold it. You can't even entertain the idea of failure. Oh, okay, then I have 1 million subscribers, and you're all gonna get me to 10 million today. Sorry. Even if you're scared it's all going to hell? Even then, most of all the times I've won you over, there were times I knew it was a gamble, but I couldn't let that show. I knew I would stop at nothing to make you mine. You were pretty convincing. You can be, too. We could practice before Eddie gets here if you'd like. You can pinch me on, what we'll do when we're back together again. Uh-huh. You ever just want to skip it? Because this is stupid. I'm serious. Teach me your ways. Ashton leads you in an area behind the concession stand, and you sit on an old trunk as he begins to speak. Okay, first things first, it's all about manifesting what you don't yet have. 1,000,000 subscribers. Manifesting is all the rage. Teach me your ways. I want you to visualize what will happen once Eddie comes around, not if, when. You'll have to have a heart-to-heart with him, and he'll admit he's been a little harsh. That's all I want, desperately. Once he's back in your life, you do something together, just the two of you. What would that be? We'd go sunbathe on the beach. Not really something you would do with a sibling, but sure. I'd build a sandcastle, maybe, but sunbathe together? Take a long drive down the coast. Why do these sound like they have a romantic innuendo? I'm just saying. Down the coast. Maybe I'd even rent a fancy convertible. We could blast some music, scream, sing, and along as we drove. Get Eddie a classic car and he'll be in his element. Then we could just grab lunch at some beachy little spot and talk. Eddie would eat this up, both the hypothetical lunch and the plan. As long as he remembers how good it feels for us to be close. That's all I can ask for. And then when you get back from your outing with Eddie, I could sleep over in your tiny, cozy apartment. Yes, falling asleep with your arms around me sounds perfect. You'd wake up with the smell of bacon. You'd sleepily pad out to the kitchen to find me cooking breakfast for the three of us. Yeah, but where's the coffee in this? I would buy you an apron, just for the occasion. He laughs and puts up his hands in a surrendering gesture. This is your manifestation, so if you want me to have an apron, so be it. Well, with Eddie home, you'd be wearing shorts under the apron, but when he's gone, you'd be incredibly naked. No, really. If that's the case, we'd have to get up to some trouble after I pop the toast in the toaster. But we'd have to be quick. Oh, God, it hurts. You just put yourself in like a 60-second window. Trouble, huh? I'd ask you to make good use of that spatula. His eyes light up and he gives you a devilish smirk. You'd want a spanking before breakfast? Absolutely. I'm sure I was plenty naughty the night before. With you sleeping over. It would get the blood pumping for both of us in the morning. Ashton's eyes darken with lust as he drifts into the fantasy, even imagining the scenario with Ashton makes your core tighten. See how easy it is to imagine how we're already back together? He takes your hand and kisses it before trailing kisses up your arm. It'll be so good when I'm finally able to touch you again. God, yes. Ashton trails kisses across your collarbone and down between your breasts. Your breathing turns faster with each slow kiss. We'll never get out of bed. Just think about all the things I'll do to you once you're back in my arms. Your core throbs for when you press your legs together as your whole body tingles sweep over you. I'll get to hear you moan my name again. Take you again. And what about the things we haven't done? Such as... Wow. You have to ask. Things like... wax play in new positions. Yeah. We'll do wax play. He looks at you sideways, a smile curling his lips. I didn't know there was something you wanted to try. When it comes to us, I want to try everything. Noted. I'll stock up on candles. You're fully drawn into the fantasy, which is exactly what Ashton wanted. His hard sell is a complete success. Well, that sounds so divine. I need to be with you again immediately. Me too. It's going to feel so damn good when I finally make you, really. You can't help it. You need your lips on Ashton's. You stand on your tiptoes, press your lips to his, you kiss him until you're dizzy with need, nipping at his lips, feeling his hands roam your body after so long. It's everything you need, everything you've denied yourself, and you have to resist the urge to rip off his clothing right here in the theater. If we didn't have a job to do, I'd make you drag me away right now. He reaches out and traces your cheek with his thumb. You meet his gaze. So, do you feel like you need this manifestation to come true? Like there's no alternative? I do. It has to happen. I won't accept anything less. That's my girl. Project that confidence with Eddie, and he'll have no choice but to accept it. Thank you for reminding me. You're always so supportive. Even if I'm being delusional. He laughs and kisses your cheek. I'll support all your delusions. Then we won't accept no for an answer today. You take a deep breath and hold Ashton's hand. Now all you can do is wait for Eddie. After nearly an hour, you hear Eddie's car pull up outside. Does it have a bad muffler? You're in a movie theater. For Christ's sake. My palms are sweating. He's your brother. Ashton gives your fingers a reassuring squeeze and you take a deep breath. Whatever happens, we'll finally have our answer. As much as I'd like Eddie on board, if he won't come around, he'll have to get over it. I'm not losing you again. Should have never lost him in the first place. I agree, but can you really stomach the idea of not getting his blessing? I don't know, so let's hope this works. You hold your breath as Eddie strides in and immediately comes to a halt. I knew it, this was a freaking setup. Quick, Ashton, get him! Ooh, Eddie's eyes narrowed Ashton, who meets his gaze unflinchingly. Would you have come if we told you? It doesn't matter, you lied to me. Again. It breaks your heart to see your brother so angry and closed off. If you're not careful, he's going to stomp out of here. Bye. What? I did leave out some details, but... You left me no choice. What was I supposed to do? You've been ghosting me for days. For good reason. I needed time to think. Well, you're thinking about it wrong, and I can show you that. Please, Ashton and I put a lot of work into this movie, and we made it for you. If I stay, I'm leaving the second it's over. You will stay for your sister, if not for our friendship. Eddie lets out a giant sigh and folds his arms. Fine. But I don't want to see whatever lovey-dovey bullshit you've been up to. It's definitely not that. You take Eddie's arm and steer him towards the seat. You slide into the seat next to him, watching him with a smile as Ashton hands Eddie popcorn and a soda. It's to elevate the experience of authenticity, after all. Eddie grumpily shoves popcorn into his mouth, and you snuggle down in your seat as the lights dim. The movie begins to play, showcasing the behind-the-scenes footage from Scandal and Sunset, all filmed by Eddie and edited by you and Ashton. Here we go. We're about to start filming our show. You snap the clapboard, and Eddie reaches out and ruffles your hair. Clapboard? Let's do this. Okay, remember the handshake we did in high school? A super nerdy one? Yeah, I know the whole thing. Your laughter carries across the sand as Ashton and Eddie slap each other's palms and reenact their silly handshake. Make me a mermaid tail. Lie down on the sand, watch as Eddie and Ashton cover your legs with sand. We'll need something to sculpt with. Let me find a shell. He scours the beach and finally comes back with 2 sweet shells in hand. Perfect. I should sneak a glance. While the clips roll, you glance over at Eddie to find him staring at the screen. He doesn't look like he wants to murder you anymore, so... progress? This movie idea of Ashton's was brilliant. You want to reach out over and pat Eddie's arm, but also you don't want to pull him out of it, so you sit as quietly as possible, watching him enjoy the movie. As the clips continue to play, there are bits of your relationship with Ashton woven in, showcasing smaller, more tender interactions. The way Ashton looks at you as you direct a scene, the brush of his hand against yours. I think it's working. Ashton reaches over to grab some of the popcorn from Eddie's bag. He winks at you as he pops a piece in his mouth. Only because you made me edit out all the spicy content. Shh. That would have sent Eddie to therapy. Ashton chuckles under his breath and nods. Touché, we don't want that. You settle back in your seat, enjoying the show, when the tape stutters. Is this part of it? No. It must be the projector. Let's pause for a brief intermission. You rush to the back and try to handle the old projector, hoping to fix the tape. You're keenly aware Eddie has followed you. I can handle it. Just go back to your seat. I'm a lot more familiar with old equipment like this camera, and they're known to be extremely temperamental. Eddie caresses the camera with a soft touch. Old projector. It's being testy. Should I leave you two alone? Hey, you've got to be gentle with these oldies. When they work, it's a beautiful thing. You're right. These cameras sure are touchy. I thought I knew how to work with them when I was a kid, but it turns out I needed time, you know, to mature and figure out how to handle those cameras. Yeah, you didn't have the touch for them back in the day, but maybe you do now. Now you're really convinced Eddie isn't talking about the cameras. I'm giving it my best shot. When you catch his gaze, you're surprised to see the shine of tears. Eddie clears his throat and speaks quietly. I didn't realize my opinion would actually break up the two of you. I feel kind of awful, even if I'm worried you'll get hurt. I can't walk back things, the things I said, and I'm not even sure I want to. I need you to understand that I always value your opinion. You're my brother. I am, and I love you. That's why I can't handle the thought of watching Ashton destroy you. Again. Eddie, I know you just want to protect me, and I love you for that. I do. You helped me so much that summer, and I love you. But you can't protect me so much that I'm no longer making my own decisions. But I can't just stand by and watch you make this mistake either. Even if it is a huge mistake, isn't it mine to make? Please, I need you to trust that I've got this. How do you know this time will be different? My judgment is a lot better than I was when I was a teenager. Give me some credit, I know what I'm doing, Eddie. I understand him better now than either of us ever have before. That's the thing. You can't understand Ashton. No one can. That's not true. Not anymore. You sure about that? As Eddie holds his ground, you can see he's waffling. Well, I'm sorry, waffling? Wavering would have been the word we're looking for, but waffling now. You see your chance to drive Ashton's plan home. After all, as a producer, you've learned everyone needs a little push, and as Eddie Scissor, you know it's time for you told him he's full of it, once and for all. I love each and every one of you, that's why I cover this shit. I'm serious. You hold up your phone's flashlight to the camera, so Eddie has more light. You know, if Ashton was a heartbreaker who destroyed me and left to go to Europe, I'd be worried about me dating him too. See? But he's not. The Ashton who went to Europe was on a mission to prove himself. He wanted to be taken seriously and make a name for himself. I'm biting my lip, I really want to talk. I found out the real reason Ashton left that summer. It was to have something to offer me. Even though I didn't need that, I never expected that from him. Then why didn't he tell you? That's why he didn't want to be back with you then. Why break your heart and go? At that age, would you have been mature enough to tell your childhood crush that you had nothing to offer her at the moment and you were going to work on it and come back to her? Yes. I literally did that! So yes. Anyway, Eddie sighs and shakes his head. No, I guess not. I could barely even talk to girls until college. Ashton wanted nothing but the best for me, so in his mind, he was doing right by me. The delivery wasn't great, but his heart was in the right place. That's why he went and banged a bunch of chicks. I had to say it. Mercy being one of them. I had no idea. Eddie, Ashton is thoughtful, mature, empathetic, maybe. I know things between you got a bit tense after he went to Europe. Understatement. But haven't you noticed a difference? He's so attentive and caring. Ashton Park is attentive? Eddie. Okay, I know he cares, and I did notice he wasn't so flighty lately. I can see some changes. And I've changed too. I know who I am, I know who Ashton is, and trust me, I weighed every single option before committing to him. No, you didn't. Eddie gives a grunt of acknowledgement and turns a little knob on the camera. And as for you, the Eddie from 10 years ago would have turned up his nose at a reality TV show gig. Yeah, I was a snob, we know. But look at you now, you've changed and you're living for the drama while being amazing at filming it. I can't argue with that, I really do love it. It shows you're great at it and you're so passionate about the camera work that it's a fantastic combo. I'm proud of you for letting go of your inner snob, taking a risk on this project. Hollywood is so grueling that you can lose the drive to try and break into something else. It's not just Hollywood, but I digress. It wasn't an easy sell, I'll tell you that. It's worth something to not just survive, but to thrive. Ah, true. As much as I love you, I would like to afford my own apartment one day. As you and Eddie keep talking, you see him rethinking his stance. You're actually making progress here. He sighs and meets your eye. You're my little sister. I made the decision to get with Ashton. Whatever happens, be it good or bad, is on me. And Ashton. So we agree. The film can speak for itself. I'll hold my comments until the end. Now do me a favor and work your magic on the camera. With a quiet sigh, Eddie goes back to work on the camera. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you orchestrated this camera stutter. Trust me, I didn't. I don't know. It's a pretty good way to get me back here to talk. You know I can't resist an antique. Is that how we get you? Well, shit. A couple of minutes later, Eddie smiles and straightens up, giving the camera a gentle pat. All set. You defended your love to your brother. Alright, perfect. Let's go watch the rest of the film. Together, you and Eddie head back to the gallery and settle in your seats. Before you hit play, you give Ashton's shoulder a discreet squeeze. The climax of the film drives home all of you've accomplished in the last few months, and wow, seeing it on screen makes you feel incredibly proud. Your jaw drops as Eddie calls cut on the final episode. You spin around to face him and Ashton. We did it. We actually did it. We made a show. Hell yeah, we did. Congratulations, you two. Congratulations to the three of us. With that, you pull Ashton and Eddie into a hug, and the three of you laugh and squeeze each other. The word "in the end" pop up on the silver screen, and you hold your breath. This is it, the moment of truth. Ashton takes your hand as you both turn to Eddie as the lights come on. Well, Eddie? Did the film meet your standards? Eddie wipes tears from his eyes as he nods. Your heart swells as you see your brother, the genuine Eddie, and not the angry, hurt one. That was amazing. Wow. Yeah? Yeah, damn. We've accomplished so much, and the three of us have come a long way. We really have. I'm so proud of all of us. Eddie turns to you, taking a shaky, deep breath. My anger came from a place of fear. It doesn't make it right, and certainly doesn't make it okay, but I need you to know that. I know. You always look out for me, and I knew you were only upset because you cared so much. But, that said, I recognize you're your own woman, and I need to back off and let you live your life. Within reason, Of course. And you suddenly want to buy a motorcycle and ride without a helmet. Please? You'd have every right to pull Big Brother rank and step in. No, you wouldn't. I think we'll be closer than ever. Knowing how you feel about me and that you're going to let me be my own woman is a huge for my self-esteem, and it makes me want to tell you more about my life because I know you trust me. I never thought about it like that before, but it makes sense. I want you to come to me about anything, including whom you're dating. I can do that. We live together, but I had to hide such a big part of my life, a big part of me. Don't hide it, okay? Be yourself with me. I mean, I agree with him. Literally and figuratively, it's the reason why we got into this issue in the first place is because we didn't communicate with the guy. And then, Eddie turns to Ashton. You struggle to hold back tears, wanting this moment between them to go well. I'm sorry. I realized I haven't been a good friend to you, especially if I'm still seeing you in the same old way I always have. We both weren't great friends to each other. I'm sorry I went behind your back, and it'll never happen again. They lean over and share a brief, almost teary hug. You sniffle and wipe your tears off your cheeks. So, sis, I'd like to come home, provided we discuss some ground rules. Of course. Make sure to put the sock on the door. No, I'm kidding. Whatever it takes to get you home. No, don't say that. I want you to be happier, too. This isn't just about me. True. Okay, I'm willing to hear you out on ground rules, and then I'll discuss mine. Sounds good. That work for you, Ashton? Sure does, but I'll leave it to you two to figure those out. Reach over and pull your brother in a hug, thankful this is solved before the streaming the premiere. I can't believe I'll get to be on Ashton's arm for our big day. Speaking of the premiere, I've been meaning to lock down a date. He takes her hand in a sweet gesture, giving a little bow that makes her cheeks warm. Would you do the honor of accompanying me on the red carpet? It's time the entire world knew you're my girlfriend. Thank God. Oh, God. This meaningless, meandering garbage drama has finally come to an end. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Seriously, please. Anyway. Finally, that's all I can say. It's coming to an end. This pointless drama between you and your brother and Ashton and your brother is just finally coming to an end. I feel like that meme where the little girl's like, "The evil has been defeated!" Yeah, no, finally. The really bad writing has been defeated. Like, seriously. You all knew how I felt up until now. I don't need to, like, do a recall for you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Peace out.